This is a Jmix exclusive.
What was it like to work with Johnny J? And is it true that you had a
with
double
Johnny.
album that wasn't gonna that's not never gonna see the light of day?
Yes, well, what happened with Johnny J, man, Johnny J, he was also another person from the industry that I knew since I was 14, 15 years old, younger than that, matter of fact. So his life, that tragedy that happened to him was definitely a shock, and it was sad, you know. Johnny J, this was a time in my life when I accepted Islam, and this is before I walked away from the music industry. I wanted to do more of a positive style type of rap records. You know what I mean? And Johnny J contacted me, gave me a record contract. He was working on his own label at this time. And I was in the studio every day with Johnny J, and we was making some music. And like you said, yes, it was a double album. But the more that I started to learn about my religion and try to become serious with practicing Islam, the more I knew I wanted to get out of this industry, you know. So I went to Johnny J and I told him, you know, I said, I'm getting more into my religion, which he already knew, because every day I was in the studio praying in the studio. He knew. He was very respectful of Islam and me practicing my religion. But I knew that he was an individual that just put all his money up for studio time and gave me an advancement money from my pocket and things like that. So I couldn't just turn my back on him. I wanted him to be able to make his money back. So I gave him a time period. I said, if you can release the album, at least you can make your money back, no problem. But this is it. After this, I want to walk away. So I gave him some time, and years went by, and a couple of years went by, and we both came to agreement that he said, you know what, I will release you and let you go. I know that this is what you really want. And he allowed me to go back. He released me without even asking for one penny back, you know. So, and I remember after he let me go, I think it was to get that call that he what happened to him, that he committed suicide. I was like shocked. You know, it was sad because not only that, like his whole family, I knew his kids when he was youngsters, you know. So it was just sad to see him go out like that.
Did the other members of the Outlaw support your decision to convert? Were they supportive of that?
Yeah, the Outlaws is very supportive of it. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that all the Outlaws actually accepted the religion of Islam. You know, Edie accepted Islam. Me personally, over the phone, he accepted it. Young Noble also, Castro. You know, but everybody have they different levels of and getting their own relationship with they created with Allah and trying to get closer to Him and things like that. You know, but so they respected it. They definitely respect when I accepted the religion of Islam. And yeah, they're my brothers. The Outlaws, we still brothers, you know.
And the follow up to that is, it do you still consider yourself an outlaw?
Well, see, I don't consider myself an outlaw anymore, you know, because the outlaw that I was calling to was a band member in the music industry, but I would say that this is still my family, you know, they still my brothers, and I don't think a title will play my relationship or how I am with the rest of the members of the group, you know. So for me, when I walked away from the Outlaws in the music industry, I walked away from all that, you know what I mean? But of course, I cannot take away, you know, that the people, if it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for Tupac, if it wasn't for me being in the Outlaws, no one would probably ever heard of me, you know what I mean? So I can't change the past, and I don't run away from letting people know that, yes, I was affiliated with the Outlaws. This is something that I cannot hide anyway. You know what I mean? So when I do an interview, of course, the people still might say Napoleon, former member of the Outlaws. I don't get upset with these type of things. When I promote my documentary, it's called Life of an Outlaw. You know what I mean? Meaning that I'm talking about my life when I was as an outlaw. This is my life, and this is what I went through. So this is probably a title, or I'm gonna always have some affiliation with it, at least by name. That's something that I can't change, you know.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?